Hello. Assalamu alaikum. Ji ayanu pakhera gale ni hama chune shume washmale haya gonzaimus. Hi, hugs and hellos to all those beautiful, amazing people who are tuned into PT World and are watching World this morning alongside Shazad Khan and Maha Makhdoom. What a lovely Friday morning it is, Maha. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Shazad. I'm very well. Welcome to the show, everyone. I hope you guys are excited because the weather is really nice.
It is.
It's like not hot anymore. It's so
Thank God. But there's a bit of humid.
Yes,
And it kills you at times,
yes,
but it's perfectly all right. And you know, for everybody who's not living in Islamabad or probably the surrounded areas, you guys are missing the weather over here just because of the fact that it rains almost every night now.
Yeah, no, last night it was like thunder and lightning and it was kind of scary because, you start imagining the horror films that you've seen all your life, and I was just, the lightning was going off in the room and I was like, I'm going to turn around and there's going to be something
new
there.
horror film which everyone is talking about, and that's Conjuring 2, I think.
Oh gosh,
Yeah,
no,
so
I can't.
Thank God you didn't watch it.
I'm not going
Please
to.
never do that, because otherwise you'll be in big trouble.
Yes.
It's going to rain tonight as well.
Okay,
I
wonderful.
think
Okay, so we're not going to watch any scary films, but we're talking about our films. These are different mediums of getting messages across. These are different ways of expression. And, film is one, TV, that's what we're doing is one, but radio is also another one. And radio is one of the oldest, not the oldest, but it's one of the oldest forms of
Or probably
communication.
the second medium of communication, because earlier it was print and then it was radio. And for me, Ma, there's something very interesting, and that is that, when I initially started my career, I started it from
As a
radio.
VJ, we've seen you with your long hair.
As a radio jockey.
A radio jockey, yeah.
VJ was later then.
Okay.
And they used to pay me 300 rupees per show.
That's not bad, at least you got paid.
And I worked with that station particularly for 3 years.
Excellent.
And it improved my skills, communicating skills, interpersonal skills, and then, just because of the bassy voice, I was able to rock it.
Yeah, excellent. Well, yeah, that's really good. You do have that voice advantage. But, like you're talking about, radio is a really important medium. It goes to every nook and cranny, unlike, TV or internet and stuff. And so people can really utilize it. And especially with the youth these days, it can be really used, to get messages across, to get, just to kind of represent a different field, right?
Exactly. And then, the other interesting fact is that, when there was print media and radio only, and when there was 65 and 71 war, so people would actually just sit right next to their radios and listen to those Noor Jahan songs, and it might make them a bit nostalgic listening to radio now if they are still alive.
Yeah, exactly. And also now with that's what the saying goes, that video killed the radio star. But now every medium, it is a song as well. We should actually play the song. But every medium now has as much weight and has as much importance. So we're going to be discussing the situation within Pakistan, but actually we're going to be taking it from a more one angle, because we like to do that. We like to
not we, you.
I don't know why Shazad's so anti, highlighting women and supporting women.
The only reason, because whenever it's like more women on the show, they just take this angle that, okay, we're going to talk about the role of women.
Yeah,
or probably
so what's
how
wrong
they're
with
going
that?
about it.
Because we hear about role of men all the time, and you guys are always complaining about, life is so tough.
53% population of the entire nation comprises of women.
Exactly.
Come on, stop doing
Most
this
of the
now.
world does. But anyway, I think there's something being said, but I can't make out what it's being said. But I'm going to introduce to you our guests because we have a lot to discuss. So we have been joined by Hira Muzaffar Qureshi. She is an RJ at FM 91. Assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure,
today.
and thank you so much for inviting me.
Besides Hira, we have been joined by Fatima Tariq. She is a former radio jockey and is currently a mother of one.
And she's a fabulous marketeer as well.
Exactly, she was here
she's
on
been on the show as well.
Yes.
Hello, how are you?
You guys are fine, I'm fine.
Thank you very much
great.
for coming over. And is it a he or a she?
It's a girl.
It's a girl.
It's a girl, very nice. And the only reason that you left what you were doing was because of your baby, right?
Yeah, because I had a family to take care of.
Okay, so we're going to be discussing all of these angles, how it
Right.
plays in and how women can, balance it and how they sing. But they're saying something.
And what they're saying is they actually mean that we want to run a trailer right now on the show, ladies and gentlemen, and it's from the movie Radio Rebel. Let's go. Let's take a look. Good morning. Stay tuned.
This is Tara, the shy girl.
Does Her Royal Shyness want to say something? I thought not.
Who's rocking a big secret.
This is Radio Rebel. You don't know who I am, but I'm one of you.
Well, the girl who's scared to speak
I'm afraid to show people the real me.
become the the voice
Stop what you're doing, get up and dance.
of a generation.
Someone on the radio who's actually one of us.
Being different was a good thing. Reject the status quo.
Reject the status quo is my new life motto.
Embrace your awesomeness. Stand up for who you are. I dare you.
You got fan clubs at every school in Seattle.
The whole world will be listening.
We got the beat, we got the beat.
You can expel Radio Rebel.
As long as she doesn't know it's me, we shouldn't have a problem.
Until Radio Rebel's identity is revealed, I'm canceling the prom.
She's destroying everything. Tired of being afraid.
Debbie Ryan is
Radio Rebel.
Radio Rebel.
Radio Rebel.
So that was Radio Rebel, everyone, and that is a film that if you want to watch with all the family, one you can do. And so now we've also been joined by Taimur Naveed Khan, who is also an RJ at FM 91. Assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Assalamu alaikum, and how are you guys?
Good, thank
Absolutely
you.
perfect. Thank
And
you
so
very
now,
much. Yeah.
Shazad, you got your balance.
Yeah. Thank you for coming over. But why are you late?
I've stuck in traffic because of
There's
the
no
traffic
traffic in
jam.
Istanbul. Come on, man.
No, I was coming from Rawalpindi.
Oh.
And with the weather and everyone
yeah.
gets a bit like crazy.
Okay, so
when
what
it gets
happens
rain.
if you guys are running late for your shows?
We don't really do that show. That's
Never
how it
late, actually.
happens.
before.
No, but it does happen. It's one of those things that is, it's going to happen one day or eventually. Generally, in initially starting at the show, you generally have an ad break for about, couple of minutes.
Yeah.
So that gives you a little cushion.
And then you have music that you
Yeah.
can play as well.
And
You
that's
can play a
something-
song. You guys have cushion.
And radio is easy, because I think on TV it's not that cushion. In radio we have that.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah,
got
if you don't
music, you
have-
can add. Yeah.
Everyone will find
Yeah,
that.
but before you get started with all of what we
Yes.
have decided, there's one more thing which I want to talk about, and that is that, recently I've started listening to radio quite a lot. Otherwise, I would connect my Bluetooth, listen to my own songs, but, the beauty of radio is that you get to listen to whatever is new. But now, the only thing which I get to listen to is just new commercials. So what's wrong with radio?
We're going to discuss this, Shazad.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to answer this
That's
now?
my concern, yeah.
Okay, so guys, go ahead. I
Okay,
guess.
as a radio professional, one of the main ways a radio earns revenue is by playing ads.
Yeah.
And if we stop playing ads, we don't get paid, So we have to play ads. But yeah, I do agree. I think Pemra needs to step in here and needs to put on a limit as to how many ads you can play, because after a point your listener is going to tune out and switch to another radio.
Yeah.
So you're kind of losing your listenership because of playing so many ads.
Exactly. I mean, as soon as the ad starts, I change or
Yeah.
switch it off
And
because I can't stand them.
There's just one problem with my stereo, and that is that it's a touch system and it's stuck to 91 as well, just because of my friend Ali Safina doing a morning show on it.
Right.
So whenever I try to tune into any other one, the window changes.
Yeah.
So I just have to listen to 91, and you guys play so many commercials. Well,
that
that's
means you're
good that
doing
you
well.
guys are
Yeah,
making money.
that
That
means you're
kind of
doing
shows,
well,
the more
yeah.
commercials you guys play, that shows that how many people are interested in listening to your radio and, marketing on your radio
Yeah,
as well.
obviously. I mean,
Wonderful.
it's the same on television as well, bro.
Well, that's a bit more debatable, right? Okay, anyway, so let's get the conversation started because we have so much to cover. But now I feel like I'm going to be
Sure,
a boring one.
No, do it.
I hate it. Okay, so anyway, so I'm going to talk about the role, the importance of, like Shazad said, it has an impact on him. He's listening to the radio every day when he's going to work and coming back. But let me start with you, Hira. Changing topic, why did you get into radio?
I do this for, I enjoy talking, to be honest, because radio is not I do full time. Apart from that, I'm a HR professional and I work in a corporate sector. Radio I do for fun, I like talking, and of course radio, because I listen to radio as well when I'm driving, when I'm home. So because TV is the thing that we don't get much time to watch TV. So radio of course gives information, and you talk to the world in your own way, you give them messages. So that was what fascinated me. So it's been 2 years I started radio, and with them of course I'm the youngest RJ over here because they have been in the industry for quite a long time. So that's what I say, that I enjoy communicating, and sharing of information and knowledge is what radio gives me. Yes.
Okay, so what about you, Fatima? Because you were there for a good 8
You're the
years.
berserk of
Yeah.
RJ.
She was the mentor, because she's the guru of
To be
radio.
very honest, I was starting my bachelor's at that point and I didn't have anything to do. So, I got an offer. A friend of mine called me up one fine morning and he said, look, we're looking for RJs. You want to just give an audition? I never expected I'd get, selected, because I thought I was really bad because we don't hear ourselves talking, right? So when you hear yourself talking for the first time, you're like, oh my God, this
Who
is
is
what
that
people have been listening to.
Yeah.
So you know, the next day I got a call saying that they've shortlisted me, and I went again for another audition, and it was a little shock for me to get selected because I really wasn't expecting to be one of an RJ. And that's the day I thought, you know what, let's give this a shot. That's how I started my career in radio.
And
Yeah,
then you
it's
spent-
just a fluke.
and then you spent an entire decade.
Yeah,
doing
then
this
it went
as well.
on for a long
And
time.
she's just on break. I know that she's going to come back now.
Yeah, no, I
because
can
that
still see
mic right in front of you, and then you know so many other telephone calls.
Yeah,
and
it's
the
an addiction.
Telephone
It's an
addiction,
addiction. Once you
yeah.
start, you do not stop. Radio is
Yeah.
something, you know.
And it's easy
yes.
money these days as well.
True.
Is it? Okay, well,
Not exactly.
Not
It's not
exactly.
that much money
we're
involved
going to
in
get to
it.
that, but let's tell us how you got into radio.
Well, I was actually working with a student resource center in Beria, and they were looking for some RJs over there. So Radio Pakistan came and they were interviewing guys over there. And at the end, the station director told me that, you know, why don't you give an interview as well? So I gave the interview. They asked me about my music likeness and everything, and then they got a sound test done. So when the sound test came back, they were like, you know, we're going to hire you, but there's this thing that you need to be really, 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 you know, full of commitment for this. So that's when I understood, like for the first month, I was told to sit in a room and talk about any one word, and then, you know, talk about it for 15 minutes without stopping.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's the thing that they give you.
Oh,
So they give
really?
you this idea of how to connect things, and then I thought, okay, this is something that's really nice.
Okay.
In terms of personal development, you can get to know and interact with people with a lot of ease in it. So then that's the reason that I, you know, thought radio is a really good
And I
thing.
can literally go back to the day where actually I was being interviewed, and they made me sit in a room as well,
trying
and
to
then
get
they were
into
like, okay, explain the room. And the worst part which you could do is that, for example, if you started with this clock over here and you coming back again and again, that's the worst part. And I did it. And then they were like, don't do this.
So you
And I
kept
was
going
like,
back to the clock?
yeah.
Okay.
For example, if I'll talk about the clock, camera, or whatever is in the room, and then coming back to the clock as well. So that will be boring because it's just verbal as well. But
Repetition,
I don't know
yeah.
why, but it makes me think that you can sing as well, right? Yeah.
A little bit.
We will try that. We'll test that out later. But now, talking about this, so when you guys went for the audition, when you started, they gave you training. They actually sat you down, and what was the whole process? Tell us
Hera, to
about
be
it.
very honest, there's no training in Pakistan for radio. As far as I'm concerned, as far as the people and the research that I've done, you'll never find a trainer for radio. There's no professional. There's nobody teaching you anything.
Yeah.
This is something that you have to learn on your own.
Right.
Which is sad, because otherwise worldwide there are professionals who tell you how to be a radio personality and how to groom yourself on radio. There's no such scene in Pakistan.
Okay.
And I
that's-
really
And it's
agree
not
to
just
her.
about
It's
radio.
self-training.
It's about
basically.
every career.
Yeah, almost.
Yes, and
every-
about training, of course, she is right, because when I started, I had to, one thing which I learned from radio, that I usually speak very fast. You know, of course, my father
For
would listen,
example?
and I'm like, you know, I mumble.
Yeah.
You know, on radio, I learned that you need to be very
You're like
slow.
Eminem on radio.
No, not on radio, but generally.
Yeah.
But when I was on radio, I improved myself, that you need to speak very slowly so that other person is able to understand. So that is what I learned. But when it comes to training, yes, there aren't, because I learned from my RJs with whom I used to do the shows. And
Well,
they
you
used
can
to
stop
teach me.
praising them. You know, you've got your job, you'll be there. Don't worry.
No,
But no, this is
credit
an area of improvement. We
Yeah.
need to tell, because there are certain people who would want to come, but of course maybe they are not good in communicating, or they do not get a chance on the first step. So there should be certain areas.
Okay, so
which
that's
is
one
for
key
now.
So
point.
that means that your
Yes.
colleagues were very helpful.
They were, of course, my
They were.
seniors, yes.
Great.
Okay.
Because he's my senior.
That's
as
great.
well.
Okay, now, but no. Now we're going to have to go for a short break, and when you come back,
Yeah.
we will continue the conversation. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And for everybody who just tuned into PTY, you're watching Well This Morning alongside Shahzad and Maha. And today we've got a team of RJs over here on the couch. And I don't know why they're so quiet. Well, they're not supposed to be. Yeah. What's up, guys?
Well, it takes you the studio environment to actually start talking. And technically, it's a little different. So,
Yes.
it just makes us conscious about ourselves.
So you have to get acquainted. But for that, you shouldn't be late.
That's the first point about it.
You're being mean.
But that's,
you made it.
That's all right. Okay, but now that moving on, what type of a learning experience is it for you?
It's quite a diverse learning experience. For example, I'm professionally working as a banker, and at the end of the day, when I'm looking at, talking to people and getting their ideas, getting in touch with them, this helps you a lot. If you know how to converse with people, if you know how to get information out of them, how to give your point to them, it just makes your life a lot easier. So professionally, it helps you a lot. But at the end of the day, it's something that a lot of RJs that you'll find out, they do it for their own passion, for their passion of teaching people, giving them something that they know and the world doesn't know.
Yeah.
Because technically, when you're on the radio, a lot of people will call you and they'll praise you as if you're like superstars.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you just look at yourself and you're like, I'm no different.
Because you do have Twitter open right in front of you. Whatever is trending, you guys go about it, and then you do have Facebook, you do have other newspapers, and you read from there.
It depends on RJs to RJs. Every RJ has a different game plan for their show. For example, if I'm doing a show, I'll do my research one day beforehand.
All right.
Because that makes me more fluent in what I have to say and how I have to say it. But if you're just following the trending news and everything, then your show becomes a little bit
So share something new with us. Come on.
All right, like for example, there's this thing that I do on my show. It's called, giving out tips or different kind of tricks. For example, for example, how many of you knew that in this entire world, there are 7 billion people? How many women are there?
53%.
It's just like, 53%.
Any idea?
5.2 billion.
No, it's 50%.
See, I was close.
Women.
I was close.
Yeah.
I'm doing my research as well.
Great. Okay, wonderful. That leads perfectly to the next point, that you have a platform. You're able to reach so many people, especially with FM 91. It has a big following as well, and it has youth listening to you. So how do you guys utilize it to actually get information that's useful, that's actually going to make someone's life a bit better? Because you hear a lot of stuff on radio sometimes, and you're just like, what are you saying?
Exactly.
Stop saying it, or stop talking. Just play some music, or play an ad. Like, at that point, I'm like, play an
Not an ad, but stop talking.
So let me ask this to you, Fatima. How can we use it for the youth, especially?
Mom, I think as an RJ, it's totally your call on how you want to utilize the platform that's been given to you. I mean, I can
power,
choose.
isn't it?
It is. I can choose to do a ridiculously ridiculous show on absolutely nothing, or just taking people on air and making fun of them, or I can actually use it for a better purpose, maybe sending out a good message. And sadly, from what I've noticed, I don't know if Taimur or Hira would agree with me, but lately on radio, it's as bad as TV.
Yeah.
Yes. I really agree, yes.
Because I'll tell you what.
Yeah, someone was doing it, I
Because
guess.
I'll tell you what, this is a vicious cycle that
Let Fatima
works.
finish,
This is a vicious cycle that works totally on your advertisers, right? The advertisers wants to advertise on channels that have more ratings. And how do you get more ratings? By being ridiculous on radio. That's how you get ratings, which is very sad, because it's a cycle that goes on and on and on. And I 8 years in the industry, and I've seen no change as far as this is concerned.
Oh,
you know,
really?
people who want to get ratings will do the most ridiculous things or say the most absurd things just to get ratings. So
Yes,
they can get
even her,
advertisers
yes.
and get
I
popularity.
can think
To
of
add,
one name.
yes, to add in
think of many
Fatma,
names.
to add in Fatma's, this is how, because I've heard, of course not seen RJs who actually, really insult your fans, and they're like very happy and they get more ratings. So this is a trend, and then when she said that it has not improved, why we are here, because I think we've already worked somewhere else. We have already improved ourselves, groomed ourselves. So radio we've done as a sideline. We are not doing it full time. That's what we are here. But people who would need to start radio for the first time, they would just come on the show and start blurting out things, whatever they want.
And this again, this
Of course, yes, and because the show I used to do, because I started from FM 101, that was my first radio channel, and the show I used to do with a very senior RJ, and I was given a chance to represent women of the country, because I work as HR professional in a company, and then I do radio as well.
The same chance today.
Yes, so I used to represent those areas, and I used to talk about women empowerment, why radio is good for them and how can they be improved and all. So that is what gave me an edge to come on radio. But if radio was my first career to start with, I would have, I think, spent another year. Yes.
So it's
the
like,
only thing I wanted to add was the reason that this is going on is because there are no professionals teaching you what to do and how to be a radio host.
And plus, there's one thing that I heard the first time I joined radio. I met Director General Radio Pakistan, and what he told me was stupidity sells. So, he just gave me the bottom line of the entire radio, that if you're stupid, it sells. But then again, if you're also logical, it sells that way too.
Yes,
but if you're stupid and cute, it sells.
Now, okay, that's fine. So we're seeing what sells and whatnot, but how can we now change this and utilize it for the youth? Because we have over 60% that are youth, and not all of them watch TV, not all of them have access to the internet. So you guys are in a very, powerful position in the sense that you can enlighten them.
Yes.
And you can.
But that's what they do not do. I mean, half of the time on Friday nights and Saturday nights you want to listen to music. Okay,
Yes.
let me be truthful about it. But then half of the time they just don't stop talking. And then you're like, oh, where's the music? Where's the music? And then, they'll have the bestest background scores, but then they'll still keep on talking.
No, it depends what you talk about.
I want to start with them.
Yeah, on FM 91, it's a little different. We've got a time limit of 2 minutes. We cannot go above that. So if you're talking for 2 minutes, that's the max you can do in one link. And you have to play a track after every link. You have to take requests. You have to involve the audience and everything. But at the end of the day, just to improve the entire radio situation in Pakistan, we need to have a consolidated, like a group of RJs coming together, making an organization, training people, giving them free trainings, because that is how you can improve the people's situation out there.
Because just to add another thing, because radio does impact youth, because I used to get calls on TV, because on my show, and we used to ask that, what do you learn from our show? Many people, many young this youth, they used to say, we have improved our communication skills, we have learned new words, and we have improved our pronunciation.
And half of the time, whenever you listen to all of those people who are calling on radio, I think they just want to talk to that female artist as well.
It's not
I actually agree with him.
It's the attraction.
That's sad, but it depends, because the fans are the ones, they like you.
I don't know how many of you do remember Sassi or not.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
But that was
well.
actual example of stupidity.
Yeah.
being
Yes,
told.
and she's so famous.
But you see, there's actually an entire radio channel, FM 89, that works brilliantly.
Yes,
as far as it is the only channel in Pakistan that actually works like a professional radio station, in my opinion. I mean, if you listen to their morning shows, if you listen to their evening drive time show, afternoon, whatever time that you're tuned in, they'll be talking sense. They talk logic. They don't repeat things on their shows. If you've heard a certain thing in the morning on their radio, you will not hear it being repeated again in the evening.
Khalid
Vaz, Ghazal, Fiza, and the list
so
goes
it's
on.
not that being lame every time, because they are, they are not lame, but people do hear to FM 91, FM 89, and people really follow it, because
But does it have...
but I think it also depends on your target audience. 89 is targeted to a very
niche
small market,
Okay,
so they have to be
whereas
that
in
way.
91, what we have is a group of people from, let's just say, a
All walks
village
of life.
or a group of people from a city, and all of them are listening to your show. So how do you make interesting for them?
because I've witnessed that you guys at times behave like 89, and then you guys behave like 91, and then you guys might behave like 99. These are different.
Depends, because we have to take the shift. We have to
yes.
take the shift. The kind of text messages that we get in, the kind of calls we get in, it tells us that what kind of people are really interested in what they want to listen to. So we give them what they want to listen to. And there's one thing that I've learned: if you're telling something new on the radio, regardless of the fact which walk of life those people are from, they'll listen to you. So that's the best.
So that's
part
one way
about
of keeping it innovative.
Yes.
What are other ways of keeping it fresh and relevant to the different types of people you're like you said, you have people from the village, you have people from the city. So how do you keep it relevant, Hira?
You know, again, it depends on the masses which are hearing your show, because
So for you, what kind of audience do you have?
my audience are very 101 has a lot, you know, it reaches to masses, you know, it's the biggest radio station.
Yeah.
So 101 had all kind of, you know, we used to get
You're
calls
FM 91 now.
now, yes, but I started from 101, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I've started
so yeah,
from
that's
101
how,
as
you know,
well.
I've learned, you know, the ups and downs and everything. So now I used to get called from that we are from Azad Kashmir, from such news cities which I didn't know, and I used to ask them, you know, which city are you calling from, you know. So and how did I used to keep them captivated, because to talk in their own language, and then of course improve my Urdu, because you know people do not understand English, you know, so I had to talk to them in their own way and make them comfortable, and that is what we are supposed
Okay,
to
make
do.
us not comfortable. Come on.
No, we are comfortable.
I'm a bit disturbed today.
Okay, so what about you, Thermal? How do you manage it?
There's one thing that I know
What
in
kind of
radio.
audience do you have as well?
It depends. Like for example, when I was working with Radio Pakistan, I started off with an all English channel, so the audience was all English, the people who wanted to listen to English tracks. Then I moved on to 101, and I found out that 26 major cities of Pakistan are listening to me.
Okay.
So that's where you realize the fact that there's a lot of audience. Imagine 2-3 million people listening to you, sending in about 1,000 texts in one show.
Wow.
It gives you this experience, this feeling that okay, I can do, you know, I can make a difference. I can tell them something new. And there's this one thing that I've seen, a lot of people would just follow whatever they listen to. Whatever you say on the radio, a lot of people believe that. And that's what most RJs don't realize. You know, I've seen RJs giving wrong information or irrelevant ideas to people's head. And that's something that's damaging the youth and the, you know, radio in entirety.
You're a very wise artist, I must say. I mean, great.
What were you like as an RJ?
Well, as I said, that
I
I
wish
kept
we had
on
a
coming
clip.
back to the clock. That's it. And whatever time there was on the dial, I was like, okay, that's what the
Oh
time
my
is.
God.
Right at the time is
This
this.
interview I want to see.
What else? But other than that, radio's got a massive fan following. So I
Yes.
think we'll
Yeah.
probably move on to that, because people, they're crazy. They recognize you by your voice.
Exactly.
And
Right,
they
you
make
know-
an image of you.
No, I mean, they
Yes,
form an
they
image, but
form-
they're never
yes.
sure. So, you know, I have actually witnessed people coming up to me just because of the fact that they recognize my voice when I've used
Yes,
to
yes,
work on
yeah.
radio.
Yeah.
That, you know, are you this RJ from this radio station? And I was like, yeah. It's like, how do you know? Oh, well, your voice. So certainly, you know, they do obviously assume about your image, but other than that, any crazy fan experiences, you've
Let's
been
start with you, Fatima.
here for a decade, yeah.
There've been many.
Oh,
There've been
look at that
many.
smile.
There've been many, from going to public places, being people wanting to take pictures with you, from I can't remember a specific
You know, getting
incident.
gifts at your
Yeah.
radio station,
Yeah.
because
Some
we used to
people are
get a
generally
lot.
really nice. Actually, I was actually telling a friend of mine the other day. I said, you know, when I was working in radio, there was a particular fan. He used to send me revriya from Chakwal every year.
Send you what?
Revriya, it's
Okay,
a dry
yeah.
fruit,
Yeah,
yeah.
dry fruit.
And then there was another one who used to send me mangoes from his village, you know. So it had its
We have
perks. It
got
was
that.
fun.
Yeah,
Healthy,
Yeah.
delicious fruits. Excellent.
Plus, you know, you'll
about you?
find a lot of people who just want to come down to the radio station, want to meet you, you
The
know, look at
experience,
you,
yeah.
and then they want to talk to you. A lot of people make you more like, you know, they get inspired by you, so
Yeah.
they make you their mentor. Because I've seen there are a lot of different listeners that are still following and listening to me on 91, apart from the fact that I've changed it so many times.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you know, it's a big responsibility, and it's fun as well. But it
Okay.
depends on how you take it.
Yeah, see, I think my TV career is quite different. Like I get,
Have you been getting letters?
yeah, I get
Quite a lot.
weird emails.
No, but these days, because everything is digitalized, and
Yeah,
you
we
know,
get
social
weird
media
text
plays a
messages
very
on
important
shows,
role.
yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
you do.
Yeah, like really weird text messages on show.
Yeah, like people telling you that they love you, they want to marry you, and they don't care how you look like, and you know, things like that.
Sweet
So-
in a way, in this case.
Yeah, and creepy in the way you do it.
Motivating.
in a creepy
Get
way.
yourself
That's sweet in a creepy
themselves.
way.
But then, you know,
Stuff.
while you're doing radio, you at times do feel as if, you know, you were on television as well, and you will do wonders. Then it will
But,
take
you know,
another 5 years.
No, but I'll tell you what, I was one of those lazy people, so, and I'm still am, so I enjoyed radio, because nobody sees you in the morning when you go for a radio show.
Even if you're wearing your PJs,
Yeah,
whatever.
shorts, they take you just want
And
to-
that's the
yeah.
best way to be
The way
But
you
the
sit,
best
you know,
way-
everything is
The
like
best way to
comfortable.
do a show or probably to read news is have table like this. I don't know whether my producer can share this with you or not. And then we've had people who are wearing shorts underneath their table and they're wearing a tie as well. And that's the most funny part of your life. And that is obviously, so that is fun.
But we can't. I wish we could.
No, I mean, I can if I probably stand right behind the sofa.
Plus, I think radio personalities are not as much as gossiped about as TV personalities, you know. You do something wrong and it's going to be all over social media. But if a radio personality does something wrong, nobody really cares.
Well, our television personalities are not being gossiped around as well because of the fact that, you know, our celebrities are our politicians. So
politicians are celebrities.
Well, no, let me ask you this, then moving on to that, talking about the experiences and feedback from the fans. How do you handle like the negative feedback from fans or the, you know, the more aggressive ones, or
the ones that don't like you at all.
The more annoying. So I'm just like, we'll start with you.
Did you ever got a caller like Matira got or somebody else?
I got a caller because I do an alter ego show in which I become a Pathan and I do a Pathan accent.
Oh gosh.
So it just pretty much, it kind of changes everything.
Yes.
If someone's listening to me, they don't know if it's RJ Taimur or if it's Gul Khan. So, you know, they can't really get, I've got this character. So I get calls from a lot of Pathans out there telling me, you know, you're disgracing us. And then I tell them, look, dude, I'm getting you guys famous.
Yeah.
Look at it this way. So there's a way of looking at how people say things to you. Either you can take it negatively or you can take it in a positive manner.
Okay. And this character, is it like, you know, we like politically correct here when you're doing it and stuff?
Yeah, because usually I make fun of celebrities like Kandil Baloch and stuff, so it's pretty awesome. People love listening to it.
Disgracing celebrities early in the morning. Late at night. All right. But other than that, you know, like the way we used to study in our universities, and then there was this system where you would evaluate your own teachers as well. So is there any internal evaluating system for RJs that, you know, okay?
Yeah. As far as 91 is concerned, there was an evaluation every year. You were judged on what the content that you were talking about, the time duration that you were talking for, how often would you repeat a particular topic,
how many breaks do you miss?
That would get, or how many
breaks did you miss playing,
so
how many time checks did you miss playing, so all of these things are monitored on a daily basis.
And then it gets difficult for you as well.
It does,
and you know, one of my producers is a Pathan as well, so he's like, you know,
I know,
you just get done with the show and I'll show you what.
I will show you who's funny. We'll show you who's the funny one here.
Okay, so you guys, have you guys gone through a situation where, you know, you go meet somebody, probably your relatives, and they ask you, okay, what do you do? And you're like, I'm an RJ. And then they ask you, okay, what else?
But they all do something else.
That's the best part about it. You know, I
really go up.
No, but I'll tell you what. Since I was a radio jockey as well as a radio professional, so every time I would tell people I'm working for the radio, and generally the response is, "Acha, aur kya karte ho?" ठीक है? And when you tell them that I work for radio, apart from being a radio jockey, you know, I'm in the marketing department. People don't really generally click, you know, oh, a radio has a marketing department as well. Because when you say I work for the radio, people automatically assume, oh, you know, he or she is a radio jockey. They don't generally get that there's a whole organization that is the reason that the radio is functioning.
Exactly, we need to highlight that.
Yes, and in that radio, they do not say it's a very highlighting character. It's like, okay, radio, okay, fine. It's not something very wow factor, you know. So again, it's again that.
As well. TV is the same. Anything in media, people are like, oh, so what else do you do? But Shazad, you want to finish your question, yeah?
Yeah, so
I actually didn't finish asking
So what I wanted to say or ask was that, you know, you guys were doing something before being RJs as well, right? Now, for all those people who want to adopt it as a career, would you tell them that, you know, just being RJ will run their kitchens as well?
It does.
It does?
It does. I know RJs who actually earn more and a lot more than a professional person working at any organization. It totally depends on your rating, on how popular you are. Because when you are popular, the radio needs you. You know, you don't become an RJ who needs the radio. It's the other way around. The radio needs you because you're the reason they get ads. So they're willing to pay you a lot more than you can imagine. And trust me when I say this, I know RJs who get
who
make their living working just being a radio jockey.
If you look at it, there are around 54,000 RJs in entire Pakistan in different radio stations, and not all of them are actually getting that good pays. So you can, you know, 10% is what's getting good pays. The channels
there
like
are only few Sahil Lodis, Mani and Asfar and you know Nadia.
Khalid Malik's, Fasi Zaka.
Fasi Zaka.
So
Fasi Zaka's on and Khalid.
But this is the thing. So it's like, you know, it's like the argument that Steve Jobs or whoever, they quit university. It's like, it's that few that make
It's
it
the
to the top.
people
Yeah.
who make
But
them.
The best
Yes.
ones make it to the top.
And it's,
not
your,
for
it's your
everyone.
timing as well. You
And it's a
cannot
hard
just
work and commitment.
time out. You cannot, because you actually have to be in sync with the time.
Okay, now, so you guys have continued your careers as well as being RJs. So why did you make that decision then?
First of all, radio is more fun than your any other job out there, because at that time you can just be yourself, tell the people what they want to listen to, tell them your viewpoints on it. But at the end of the day, having a career gives you this edge that you have, this
Eggs in different baskets.
Yeah, that's how it does.
Yeah, the security.
Security that you're working to, because I've been working with the radio and with the banking industry for the past 10 years.
Okay.
So I've been doing both of them alongside.
Okay.
And what I found out is you can do both the things only if you have the will to do it.
Okay.
So a lot of people say it's really difficult, it's time consuming, but at the end of the day, if you like it, why not?
And whenever you have a certain task or you want 5 or 6 million to be invested in your bank as well,
Yeah,
you call
you can
them on
just-
radio.
Exactly.
All right, I'm having your interview. Come over.
Yeah, guys,
It helps, it helps.
It helps, yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful tool, isn't it?
Yeah. But what about you here?
Yes, I agree to what he has said, because radio, of course, it gives you an edge, and for me, it helped me in my personal life, and because I'm an HR, you have
So
to
you're just
come across
helping
with
your own
radio,
self.
right?
And there's nothing wrong
of
with that.
course, because it's been 2 years I started radio, and then it's like, it's again a long way to go. I still have to, come up with different things, but it has, it gives you different idea to, experiment yourself.
Yeah.
I am, when I'm on radio, I become very, composed. I cannot be like very funny. So I need to be, so it depends on how you bring a variety in your own voice. And people who have done that, they've really experimented with themselves. So radio gives a variety, because of course on TV it's different. It's who you are. On radio it gives you variety, because like, he has said he has another
Well, you're
role.
literally mistaken if you think that on television it's who you are is what you
You cannot change your voice, if you are, so that
That's
gives an
true.
edge on radio.
Yeah. I don't know why we have makeup artists, but it's all right.
He's just joking.
I know.
Just to add to this, radio as a career, as far as radio as a career is concerned, apart from just being a radio jockey, you can become a voiceover because of your voice. You get recognition, and that if you were asking
That's
me if
good.
that brings a lot of money, yes, it
Yes.
does. It brings a lot of money. Apart from being a voiceover artist, radio jockey, you can be a host for different events,
Okay.
for different BTL activities happening for big corporations. You can host their events.
Okay.
That gets you a lot of PR in people. That can take you to places.
And that's how you get to this couch, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, okay, so now talking about the different opportunities within radio, because we've just talked about RJs, but like you said, there's a whole team.
Yeah.
Because the radio jockey can't be there without his engineers, without his sound,
course,
without
yes.
the people getting the music, IT technicians, I don't know, there's a lot
Yeah.
that goes behind it. So there are other opportunities. So in regards to that, would you say, let me ask you, Tanur, would you say that it is something that the youth should explore? These are careers and jobs that they should look
Yes,
into?
they should. For example, when I joined 91, before that I used to host concerts and everything. But ever since I'm with 91, I'm hosting gigs and everything. So a lot of people come up to me and they say, how can we be like you? How can we do these things?
Yeah.
So I tell them, at the end of the day, if you want to take it as a career, you need to study about it as well. There's no university in Pakistan that gives you a radio degree or anything of that sort. You can be because I'm an electrical engineer who's working in a bank and I'm in radio as well. So that's
Wonderful.
3 diverse things that I've actually done in my life. But since I didn't find anyone who would give me an idea that I can do a masters in radio, so that's something that we need to bring in just to create more awareness and get more people interested.
Okay, wonderful. And in regards to the opportunities that arise, like you said before, you were hosting this, now you're hosting gigs. Did you find the same happen to you, Fatima? Did you find a lot of opportunities arise for hosting, voiceovers, etc.?
Yeah, yes, I did. I hosted different concerts. I hosted different corporate events for organizations, like I said, and I did ads as well. Yeah,
Okay,
voiceover
and
for
And
ads.
it adds to quite a lot of value.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
finally, I just want to ask you one last thing. You also work in marketing, so for all those youth, the same question that I posed to them, or what would you say to the girls and boys who are watching that, even becoming something else in radio?
Because half of the time you just don't even get to know whether the auditions are taking place or they're calling in.
Because I think
people.
one of the most securest positions is being a producer. No?
No, well, if you...
I don't know. They seem to have a lot of power and like,
Because
you know,
then by the end,
and control.
everything is going to come down on his shoulders.
Yeah, but
It does.
Yes.
Yeah,
Or her.
with power comes responsibility.
Because he's basically the one who's held accountable for anything goes wrong.
Exactly.
So yeah, I definitely encourage radio as a career. There's HR, there's sales, there's marketing, there's the technical side of things, there's financial side of things.
Yeah.
It's like any organization.
just
But
like
our
any
producer's
other
just
industry that
freaking
we
out
see.
right now.
Okay.
Yeah, just because of the fact that he knows that, you know, if something goes wrong, you're the one responsible. But, you know, in the initial phase, we said that, you know, I think that you're able to sing. So would you mind
yes.
I used to rap.
Used to
what I
rap.
used to do.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
But
rap-
in
rap
If
is-
you rap, please remember the lyrics. So we've had rappers who don't remember.
I don't remember the lyrics right now.
Okay, so then don't rap.
Just
I'm not gonna
sing
rap.
whatever you feel
Sing
like.
something.
Something
sing
very
it.
Pakistani.
I'm really
A little taste of Pakistan, you know.
Have you guys heard Ahmed Sadiq's track Sher Khan?
Well, yes.
हमको बेटे का पठाने मरना
Yeah, yeah.
मुशेर खाने वल्लही हमरा दिल धड़कते जब जब तेरी आंखें जाना वल्ला रानी तू पठाने हमको एटे की शान है आजा
वल्ला।
बेबी दिल मिला ले ये कहते शेर खान है तू पेशावर की रानी हमको बेटे का राजा आजा रानी दिल मिला ले ये कहता शेर खाना तू को Yeah, that's about it.
Great,
man.
thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
for
much.
wrapping
Thank
up
you
the
for
weekend. It was
having
a
us.
wonderful conversation.
Thank you very much.
Have a brilliant weekend.
And
Thank
I
you so
literally
much.
told you that one of my producer is a Pathan, and you still did it.
Yeah, I still did it.
I'm going to take up
I
It's just more like
I
that.
don't understand what's going on. But thank you so much, guys. And
Thank you very
I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We were just highlighting different mediums, and today we were highlighting radio.
Yes.
Yesterday we had performance art, and next week we'll have something different.
Yeah, but one last thing, very quickly, and that is that, you know, whenever there are auditions coming up or openings coming up,
yes.
how do people figure it out?
Facebook pages.
Facebook, social media is
radio,
the biggest
social
thing
media.
to
Alright,
communicate.
that's
Well, you guys say this, but I have been looking at this and I don't see anything. So I'm
There are no positions probably at the moment.
It's been a year, man. Okay, anyway, that's a joke, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And there is a whole world out there as well. So do explore it if you're looking for careers or internship or something to do. So do log on to our Facebook fan page,
Which is with the name of World This Morning.
our Twitter page,
World This Morning without G.
our Daily Motion and YouTube page.
World This Morning once again.
And the repeat is at?
The fabulous repeat is going to be at 5 past midnight, ladies and gentlemen. Look after yourself. Have a good weekend. 1, 2, 3.
Good morning.
Thank you, brother.